Hi everyone, this is Flaminia, and for today's presentation, I choose the topic number 2, so the personal data solution, in which I thought about a topic of a real-life problem that could be solved with data. So, as a tennis player, I practice every day of my life, and recently I've been coaching too, and I notice on my player that sometimes they have better day than others, and myself included. Sometimes I notice through my whole life that there was some days in which I practiced very well and some days that I didn't. That is why I wanted to use data to analyze the reasons why some days my performance score was higher than other, and for this reason I practiced 1 week. As you can see in this table in Excel, I practiced for Monday to Saturday. This was the dates in which I practiced, which was last week. I choose two different times, so I practice at 8 a.m. and at 3 p.m. I wanted to include my energy level, so how I felt that day, my energy, the energy that I had that day, in a scale from 1 to 10. I wanted to also grade myself and my performance on that day in a scale also from 1 to 10. And I wanted to include the weather condition and the hours of sleep in this table in order to analyze those factors as well. So the first analysis is the time. So as I said before, I practice in two different times, at 8 a.m. and at 3 p.m. And as a tennis player, I prefer to consider those days in which I have steady and consistent practice and results rather than peaks, ups and downs. So I wanted to avoid those peaks, and I just consider those days in which I had like in the middle, in which I had a good score, but a consistent score. And I saw that on these days I practice in the afternoon, so at 3 p.m. So already from this little analysis, I can tell that I practice and I perform better on the afternoon rather than in the morning. Moving forward, I wanted to include and analyze my performance score based on the energy level, and I wanted to see how the energy level affect my performance score. For example, in this case, I had energy level 9, and my average performance score is at 8. So on those days that I have energy level 9, I expect to have a performance score of 8, and so on. So here I had performance, my energy level was 8, and I expect on those days in which I have energy level 8 to have an average performance score of 8.75. Here I had 7 energy level. On those days, I expect to have an average performance score of 8. When I have 6 energy level, I expect to have a performance score of 7.5. And lastly, when I have energy level 5, I expect to have a performance score of 7. Again, this was just a 1 week result, so yeah, I think it's better to have more few weeks of practice in which I can have and collect more data and analyze more data in the long run. Also, this is an average, so it's not very good to do an average just with one data, one number. So I think it would be better to have more weeks of practice so that also the average can be better and more accurate in the long run. Moving forward, I wanted to include the weather conditions. So I wanted to see if the weather condition could have an impact on the day in which I perform better, and which weather is better for my perform for me to perform better. So I as you can see here, the first three numbers are the highest one in my performance score, and starting from the first one, we can see that it's a sunny day and 73 Fahrenheit. So it's a sunny day with 73, so it was not that high in temperature. The second day is a cloudy day with 80 Fahrenheit. So which means that it's a little bit more higher in temperature, but it's cloudy, so means that the sun wasn't out there and wasn't bothering that much, even if the temperature was a little bit higher. The third one was a sunny day, still 75 Fahrenheit, so very similar to the first one. And again, it was a sunny day, beautiful day, not that high in temperature. Also compared to the worst, let's call it worst days of my performance, in which there was more humidity and more high temperature, as you can say here, 80 Fahrenheit, 85 Fahrenheit, and 85 Fahrenheit being humid and sunny. So from these dates, from this data, I can already tell that I perform better when it's a beautiful day, sunny day, not a high in temperature. And lastly, I wanted to see if there was any correlations with hours of sleep and my performance. So I made a simple correlation here with Excel. Um, between hour of sleep and performance score, and I got this number that is 8.3, which is higher than 0, and which means that there is a positive correlation. So that means that more hours of sleep leads to a better performance. So this also is a factor that is important to consider, and that I saw that there was actually a true correlation. So this was my analysis for my presentation. I hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.